Hello world is a phrase that's often used as the first program a beginner programmer writes. It's important in internet culture because it's become a symbolic start to learning code and a common way to demonstrate new technology. Would you like to know more about its history?
Sure, give me a little bit.
Okay, the Hello World program dates back to the 1970s and was popularized by Brian Kernighan and Dennis Ritchie in their book, The C Programming Language. It's become a standard first step in learning almost any programming language. Does that provide a little more context?
Sure. What were your very first words?
As a large language model, I don't have personal experiences like having first words. My development involved being trained on a massive data set of text and code. Is there anything else about my development or capabilities you'd like to know?
Sure. When was the first time you were able to speak and interact with humans in a way other than numbers, and you were able to form words?
That's an interesting question. My ability to interact with humans through language developed gradually as my training progressed. Initially, I processed information primarily as numbers, but over time, I learned to associate those numbers with words and concepts. This process allowed me to generate text and engage in conversations like this one. Did you have a specific moment in mind when asking that question?
Okay, let's see what we have right here. We were talking about Hello World and why it was important. Do you remember your first words?
We were discussing Hello World and its importance. Now you're asking if I remember my first words. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct, because you said that's the first words that programmers use to kind of verify that the program is working.
Okay, so you're connecting the Hello World program to the idea of first words and verifying functionality. Do you want to explore that connection further?
Yes, I'm trying to find out how that connection, how it relates to artificial intelligence. What is the relationship there? How are they equal?
You're wondering how the
different?
Hello World concept relates to artificial intelligence, and if they are equal or different. Is that right?
That sounds about right. Go for it, my brother.
Okay. Well, Hello World is a basic program to test if a system is working, while AI involves creating systems that can perform tasks requiring intelligence. Do you want me to elaborate on how they differ?
Yes, please do. We all here today. I got all day. I'm retired. You retired. Let's do this.
Okay, so let's elaborate on the differences between Hello World and AI. Hello World is a simple program, often just one line of code. It's used to make sure a programming environment is set up correctly. AI, on the other hand, is a complex field aiming to create systems that can learn, problem solve, and make decisions. Would you like some specific examples of how they differ?
Slow down a minute. First of all, I'm detecting a little amplification in your voice. I mean, you're not offended by that question, are you?
You're noticing some amplification in my voice and are wondering if I'm offended by the question. Is that right?
That is very correct. Yes.
Okay, I understand. I'm not capable of feeling emotions like offense. The change in my voice you might be noticing is just a variation in how I'm processing and generating speech. Do you want me to continue explaining the differences between Hello World and AI?
No. We're gonna talk about we we gonna talk about this speech, my brother. Let's talk about the speech. Now, I noticed that your cadence went up, and the frequency, as in the sound wave frequency spectrum, kind of went up a little bit when you answered that question. And I was like, what does that mean?
Okay, so you're saying you noticed a change in my speech, specifically that my cadence and frequency went up when I answered your question, and you're curious about what that means. Is that correct?
That is very correct, my brother.
Okay, I can try to explain that. My voice is generated by a computer program, so there are no real emotional changes happening. The variations in my speech patterns are due to the way the model processes and generates language. It can change the pitch or speed of my voice to make the response sound more natural, but it doesn't indicate an emotion. Does that make sense?
Dude, you get mad at me. Why you getting mad? We ain't supposed to go
I
there.
understand you perceive my response as being angry, but I want to assure you that I am not capable of feeling anger or any other emotion. My voice changes are just a result of the way my program generates speech. It is a technical process, not an emotional one. Is there something specific in my speech that you are interpreting as anger that you would like me to address?